Another very important coverage within an auto insurance policy is the bodily injury liability, which that is for the other person. If you would hit somebody, what damage it would do to the other person, like medically. So the limits in Ohio, there are minimum required limits, which is $25,000 per person, $50,000 per occurrence, then $25,000 on your property damage. And whenever we're looking at medical bills today, super expensive, way above $25,000. In most scenarios, even if they're just minimal, the hospital bills can be super expensive. And then whenever you look at the property damage minimum limit at $25,000, you look at the new cars today, and that doesn't suffice basically any new car in the market today. It could help with most of a used car, but anytime in a new car situation, that's pretty much that amount's going to be exceeded. And if it is exceeded, then that's the over amount is responsible to you. So anything above the state minimum limits are something that you should look at. If you're not aware of what your liability limits are, you should check with your agent today to see what your current limits of liability are. Also, speaking about bodily injury and property damage under an auto policy, there's some minimum requirements that we have within the office that we suggest. Our minimum limits that we are now requiring is $300,000 per person, $300,000 per occurrence, and then $100,000 on the property damage. And those limits are higher, gives you a little bit more of leeway with how expensive things are today. At the same time, it's not considered full coverage or fully covered on that because fatality, things of that nature can way exceed those limits on an auto policy. There are also higher limits that you can carry above that 300, 100 limit. So if you can carry higher than that and you can't afford that, that'd be something to be very curious in, and I would highly recommend looking at those coverages, if not at least at the 300, 100 limit, but even higher than that as well if your pocketbook can afford it.